I'm turned on. It's silly. I never do that kind of thing. I'm such a nerd. Bruce Wayne is Batman? Of course I knew that. I'm a total geek. Hi everyone. Hopefully you realize that's a joke, and I'm sure that you do and will. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the fake nerd girl bullshit that's been going on. I notice it a lot everywhere, but mostly on Tumblr. It happens a lot, not just to me, but to other females. And I think it's a bunch of crap, and I'm going to tell you exactly why that is. Now, I haven't gotten a mean message in a little while or anything, but when I did, it was because I chose Harley Quinn as a character to cosplay as. And it's not really cosplay because I bought a costume, and I mean, that is simply because I didn't have the funds or the time or the talent to make something myself. I super admire people that can, but I couldn't. And really, I didn't intend on purchasing that costume that day. I was actually looking for an Alice in Wonderland costume, like American McGee's Alice, and I tried on the Harley Quinn costume. And my friend was like, holy shit, like, you look amazing. And even the people in the store were like, you're Harley Quinn, like, for sure. And I'm like, well, shit. I liked her before that, and I always had her in mind, but I never really, you know, thought I'd put on a skin-tight fucking costume. And I didn't know that she was popular. Like, I literally had no clue. I didn't think that she was at all. So I just want to get that out of the way. I don't take myself as a serious cosplayer. I do that because I like to take portraits, and they're emotive portraits. They're not necessarily a reflection of my abilities or of the character, but you know, I enjoy doing it. And also, I went to the Canadian Comic-Con and I didn't even dress up like her except for like 2 hours on one day. And I really only dressed up because it was such an amazing experience. I love being surrounded by those things, and that's all she wrote. So please, when you see my ridiculous pictures, don't think that I take myself seriously or that I think I'm anything special, because I don't think I'm anything special. I do it just because it's fun and I think it's harmless, and yeah. On the topic of nerds hating that girls like comics, nerds, I think it's ridiculous because personally, I was a complete outcast in school. Like, I had no friends. Ever, until I was older, and I maybe wasn't called a nerd per se, but I was picked on, and I was left out, and I was the last one chosen in gym class, and I was everything that fits into the bracket of nerd. Like, I was that girl. I was called ugly every day of my life. I was tortured at school to the point where I had to leave my school and transfer, and I also had to move twice, like cities, because of it. And so it pisses me off when I get mean emails saying like, oh, you're just a pretty girl and you're just latching on to this character who's popular, you don't fucking know anything. Well, actually I do know a lot about the things that I like. I used to bring my Final Fantasy VIII strategy book guide to school at lunch and read it so that when I went home I could finish up the side quests, because I've literally played 800 hours of Final Fantasy VIII, yeah, and 7, and that was my life. I had no friends, so I played video games. I didn't get involved with role-playing games or anything because I didn't have friends, but you know, my brothers were both really big nerds. I have 2 brothers, so that's kind of maybe why partially I am this way, but I was never the girl that like played dress up or put on dresses. I played sports with the boys and wanted to be Catwoman when I grew up. Not a cat lady, which is what it looks like, but Catwoman. And yeah, so it really pisses me off because I feel for you guys. Like, I've been in the exact same situation. I've been alone more in my life than I've had friends, and I've always been outcasted and I've always been different, and that's kind of what being a nerd used to be anyway. I know that it's becoming popular to do those things, but why is that a bad thing? Like, I just don't see how that's a negative change, you know? Like, I would see that as being a good thing. because then you can talk to people about it. And yes, you may know more, but why does everything have to be a competition? Why do you always have to tear people down? Why can't you just have a conversation with them and appreciate that they like the same things as you? Like, why does it have to become, well, you don't know as much as me, you're fake? No. I promise you, no matter how many comic books I read, no matter how many movies I watch, no matter how many times I watch Batman the Animated Series, there's a chance I'm not going to know as much as maybe you or someone else knows. That's fine. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm saying that I grew up with it and I loved it. And I always have. I grew up with X-Men. I spent my whole life wanting to be Rogue. I mean, literally, I did. And that's why it pisses me off. Because it's not fair because you look at me and I'm a girl and like I'm not your definition of plain or something, that I can't be a nerd. I'm not saying I'm attractive. I don't think I am. Because I've been told that I'm not my whole life, and those things stick with you. But if you look at me and say that I'm not worthy to be a part of your group, well, that's crap. Because I am, whether you like it or not. And now, as further background, when I was 10 or I guess just, yeah, 10, I joined a forum. Like, it's really just a hardware website, but I was looking at, before I had my strategy guide, tips for like side quests in Final Fantasy VIII. So I joined a site called neoseeker.com, and this is not going to be a nice thing for them. I joined and there were only about 20 girls on the website, and it's all about like games, so I fit in there. I could talk about stuff that I was interested in. The problem existed then too, because people would just talk to me like guys and creep on me all the time, even though I was only 12 years old, and you know, still they picked on me. Or this one guy, I don't remember his name. His name's like Johnny B or something. If I ever meet in real life. Pow. I posted a picture of myself and everyone was like, holy fuck, like it's really a girl. And he called me ugly and made fun of me and called me a slut. And it's not because I was. Like, I post, as you know, pictures from up here, right? It's because I was a girl. Anyway, so I've always had this experience. I used to be a member of FF Omega, Final Fantasy forum, until it shut down. I made a lot of really good friends, and then it just suddenly, like, it ended one day without any warning, and it broke my heart. But I've always been this way. And why can't we share? Why can't we all like something? And I think part of it is everything is being redone. Like, there's never an original idea. Movies are always recreated, remakes. Books are pretty much all the same. You can find an odd series that is enjoyable, but overall it's pretty tough to find now. But for a while there was really nothing. So maybe that's why people started to gravitate towards comic books and graphic novels, because there are original, interesting, gripping stories to tell in there. Part of the reason why people started reading comic books is because of The Dark Knight, and now because of the Avengers. Yeah, I mean, it's just a case of people wanting something that wasn't around. I just think the whole stereotype should be gone, because it's not fair to you guys and it's not fair to us. And I watched this video where this man and his friends were talking about how pretty girls couldn't like nerd stuff and they were ruining it. And it's like, I'm sorry, as a straight female, but still, what's wrong with having girls dress up like your favorite superheroes? What's the problem? Even if they're just paid models, what's the problem? Because when I see them, I'm like, damn. When I see an attractive guy dressed up like Superman, I'm like, damn, Henry Cavill. And so I just don't know why it's become this negative thing, and why there has to be videos about it, and why we have to get anonymous messages from rude people, why as an 11-year-old girl I couldn't go on a forum without being harassed. I think it's so rude. I think it's bullying, and I think that that person who sent me that message has likely been picked on himself or herself in her life before. And how did that make them feel? How did they like it? And the answer is not to be rude back to someone. The answer is to give them a chance, because, you know, in case no one has noticed, almost everything I reblog is related to comic books. Not because I'm trying to make a point, but because that's what I'm drawn to currently. I can't say if it will last forever, but it will certainly be a part of me forever. Yeah, so I just wanted to say it's just not fair. I think that we should all treat each other with respect, and we should all have faith in each other and enjoy each other and be glad that we can share interests with each other. It's a respect thing and an appreciation thing. I love that I can talk to people about Batman until 3 a.m. I love it. I think it's great. And yeah, so the fake nerd girl bullshit I hate. I want it to stop, because life's too short to hate on everyone for something that you don't know. So thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments how you feel. Have you ever experienced this? Do you know anyone that has? And what's your take on everything? Okay, so thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.